Alright, so this video tutorial is going to be to create a walk cycle, more or less, inside of Anime. Which is good if you're trying to do a platformer or something of that sort. So I'm just going to use some of the tools and stuff. It should be helpful. This first video, I'm just going to make the character. So if you already kind of have an idea, you can do that. If not, you can watch me. So I'm just going to do it the way I always do it. I'm going to use the line tool here. And for this, I'm going to keep everything really simple. I'm not going to use a tablet or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the line tool, and I'm going to make my stroke color just black, keep it simple. I'm going to do 2 for my thickness, and keep everything basically just generally the norms. So my character is just a cone, so I'm going to draw basically a cone shape, but you can draw whatever. I'm just going to draw the torso as the first part here, so like something like that. And then what I'm going to do, it's going to seem kind of weird because I want to keep my thing somewhat symmetrical. I'm going to Control-C, Control-V to paste that. And then I'm just going to right-click, and I'm going to transform, and I'm going to flip horizontal. Just want to keep him as symmetrical as possible. Okay. Then grab the 2 parts here, and I'll hit Q for the free transform tool. I'm going to hold Control and Shift, because that will do both. And this way I can adjust the width and thickness of this. So we'll say something like that for my cone. Okay, so I'll say, oh, that's a little too thick, but whatever. Then I'm going to grab my line tool again. I'm going to draw across, and I'm going to draw across like so. Then I'll hit the V. Oops, not that one. V. I accidentally hit C. And now I got to delete that camera layer. Delete layers. Okay. And I'm going to click on that, delete it. Click on that. Click, delete. Click, delete. Click, delete. Click, delete. Click, delete. Click, delete. All right. And we're just going to kind of pull this down. Pull this kind of up. So you can see I got kind of a cone shape, right? I'm going to hit A for this tool, the direct select tool, and I'm just going to click and drag over those and move it up a little bit because it's a touch squat. So if you do the up and down arrows, I can move it. If I hold shift, it'll move, I don't know what it is, like 10 pixel increment, something like that. Okay, so got that. That looks fine. Now what I want to do is I want it to have a little bit more zest. So I'm going to pull this one, kind of click and drag. And I want this to be like this, but I kind of want it to be curved in and then, or curved in, convexed and then concaved, or concaved and convex. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and actually, I could draw a line here, go like this, and then pull. That didn't do very well anyway. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm using my direct select tool. I'm just going to click and drag so I can see the handles here, and there's not really a handle for this one. Is there a handle for this one? Looks like they're both on the other side, so that's kind of disappointing. You know what? Let's just go ahead. I'm just going to draw a line, B, and then let's go ahead and pull this one in. Or I'm sorry, this one should come out, and this I'm going to go ahead and push in like that. And I'll delete this and click and delete that. Control minus, and I'm going to go to the direct select tool, and you can see I have my handles in there now. And I'm just going to select this one, and I'm going to hit delete. And then I'll grab this. I'm just going to pull this handle down. I'm going to select this one, pull this handle up. So it gives me more or less the same thing, but just there's not that middle point. It doesn't actually matter too awful much, but I just, for the sake of, I don't know, making it look a little better. So let's grab this whole thing and move that back a little. Okay. So we'll call that my shape. I'm just going to try to make this a little bit better. All right. Yay. All right. So we'll call that kind of like the rough body shape here. The other thing is I need to have the little flat part of the cone here. So I'm just going to kind of draw this sort of. So I want to have it like curved in. The easiest way to do that is actually I'm going to use this rectangle tool. And down here under the rectangle options, make sure it says 2 and it has this. And for the fill, I'm going to do nothing. The no smoking here. And I'm going to try doing, let's say, 10. And let's see. Is that good? Let's do 7. So if I do 0, you'll see this will be straight, the corners. So I'm going to try 7 because that was a little too much. So I'm going to go like that. Okay. Beautiful. Then what I'm going to do is go V. I'm going to click over the whole thing. And I'm going to hit Q for that tool. And pull this down a little. And I'm just going to pull it over here on top of the guy. And I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. And then hover over here, and I want it to be, which way do I want to go? We'll go this way. like that. And then if I hold Control and Shift, I can kind of, Control and Shift, I can kind of do my own thing here. Like that. And I think it looks okay. So I'm just going to grab this inside one and hit delete with, well, either one. But so now I got kind of the bottom part, that looks fine, and now I need to draw the head here. So let's go like that. This is just for that stripe that's usually on cones. So we're going to go like that, pull this one, delete, 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 delete. Now that's the body. Okay, so that's good enough for the body. That's all I really need. Obviously you could do a chest and what have you, but I'm just doing this because this is what I needed. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. So I'm going to use my paint bucket here. And I'm going to click on this to get a color. And I just want to do like an orange color. It's not that great. Like that. And I'm clicking here, here, and here. And then this needs a color. And I'm going to go here. And generally speaking, it's not a good idea to just make things straight up white. You want to usually give them a hint of color. Like that. Boom. Okay. And we're going to call that the body. Okay, so I'm just going to, it's on layer 1 here, so I'm just double click. And I'll call this just body. And let's make a new layer. And I'm just going to lock this one so I don't accidentally mess with it. And I'm going to go ahead and draw a face. So fill, I want the fill to be black. I'm just going to do little eyes here. So I'm just kind of drawing a little circle. I'm going to Control plus to get a little closer. That is, oops, double click. This is roughly acceptable. So I'm just going to, when I have this, I double click to grab the whole shape. I'm going to hold Alt. I'm going to click and drag over this way. Make Q, and I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller than the other one. Something like that. And now I just need to draw a face, or the mouth. So I like something like that. I kind of like the idea of it being kind of simple. And then I'm just going to go like this, and pull this one this way, and that one that way, and we'll get rid of this extra nublet. And let's hit Q. It looks a little. Let's see if I can just grab just this part here. That would not be quite so much. Okay, we'll call that good. So I'm going to call that the face. So I'm going to grab this, double click, Q, and let's get closer here. Double click, and that will be the face. Which I don't need to do that yet, but we're going to call it face layer, and I'm going to lock that guy, and do another layer. And for this, I need to draw legs and feet. So this should be relatively simple. I'm just going to use the same. I'm just going to use a line tool here. And instead of 2, I'm going to go ahead and just do 3. So it's got a little bit more thickness. So I'm just going to draw where I kind of like a leg here, something like this, to something like that, we'll say. And then I'm going to hit K for the paint tool. I'm just going to paint black inside of that. I hit V, and I'm just going to click, delete, 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 click, delete. Okay. I'm going to pull this knee up a little bit, and probably get rid of this little nublet there too. Okay, and for the foot, I'm just going to round this out, pull this up, maybe round this down a little bit too, pull this back, yeah, something like that, just so that it looks like a thing. Okay, and maybe pull A to grab this whole bit here and just, yeah, whatever, close enough. Okay, so we're gonna call that a foot. Let me just back this up and grab this whole thing. All right, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and call this one the left foot. Alright, and I'm going to duplicate this layer. So right click, duplicate layers. And I'm holding shift and using the arrow key. I'm just going to put this guy up and over like so. And we're going to call this one right foot. Right foot. And we're going to lock, and make another layer. Alright, and this will obviously be the left arm. And Same second verse, same as the first. I'm just going to kind of draw out and then draw out. It's just very important that they overlap. And I'm going to get a little closer here, and then I'm just going to make like a little V shape and have fingers come off of it like so. Actually, you know what? I can just grab this little nublet there. Okay. And we'll call that good. So click delete, click delete. Let's grab this one, delete it, delete, and then this can be like the thumb. Grab that extra little nublet. There we go. Oops. A couple extra little nublets there. Okay. Don't need that. Don't need any of this inside stuff. Okay. And then again, I'm just going to hit K for the paint bucket, which is right here. And click. Alright. Go back to my V tool, and I'm just going to kind of more or less make these look more roundish. Just clicking and dragging on each one of these. And we'll call that kind of okay. So we'll call that a hand. It's kind of big, so I'm going to grab the whole thing and just shrink her up a touch. Holding shift so it stays proportionate. Alright, and there's a left arm. Beautiful. So again, I'm just going to right click over top of this layer and duplicate the layer. Now I could hold Alt and just click and drag and make another layer, but that's just more work than I really want to do. Okay, and we're just going to move this over. Alright, and we will call this one right arm. And so obviously right arm needs to go behind the body, and the left foot and right foot in this case needs to go behind the body as well. And there we go. So now I've drawn my dude. But basically you need something like this. You're going to need arms that are separate, legs that are separate, and a body. And maybe a head. In my case, my face is like in my body, so that's why it looks like this. In the next video I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to rig it up. We'll just lock these two just for fun. I'll show you how to rig it up, but you should probably save it, and then we'll rig it up in the next one, and then one after that we'll actually do like the walk animation.